welcome back to my channel. My name is Joseph P.I. Love is a beautiful thing. Love is sweet, love is kind. Love is blind, love is wicked. A lot of people say different things about love depending on your experience of love. So let's talk about the magic of falling in love. But before I say anything, let's hear what Sam Adeyemi have to say about falling in love.
There must be a reason why Solomon said that he didn't understand the behavior of a young man who was in love. It's intoxicating. And scientists have actually been able to detect the chemicals that do the job. It's some chemicals that are released in the brain. Dopamine and norepinephrine. Norepinephrine. Or they call it also noradrenaline. Neurotransmitters activate the nervous system. You know the interesting thing about those two chemicals? They are the exact same chemicals released in the brain when you take cocaine. I think that helps us to understand it. That's why Solomon said, I can't understand. The same way you can't find the path of a ship on the sea or the way of an eagle in the is the way a young man becomes unpredictable when he falls in love. Yes. I understand. I've been there. I mean the falling in love part, not the cocaine part. But since they say they're the same, then I understand. When you take cocaine, you feel good. You feel relief from stress. And then you switch on to a frequency that is practically superhuman. People who take cocaine say that when they take it, it sharpens their focus and puts them at a frequency where they're more purposeful and more creative. It's interesting that it's some of the most creative people around town that take drugs just because it takes you to that level. Anyway, that's what happens to you when you fall in love. When those chemicals kick in, and see, that's the thing about emotions. When those chemicals kick in, they shut down the effectiveness of some other parts of the brain, especially the rational part. Good. So, they color life, color everything. The world is a beautiful place. You know, you come out, even though the sun is still the same color, you know, but life takes on a different color for you. It's just beautiful, you know. And sometimes it takes the people who look at you, the people around you, to tell you things are not the way you think. But at that time, anyone who says anything contrary to what you are feeling is an agent of Satan. Fall in love, okay? You know, I was just reading how a man described what happened the day he and his wife kissed for the first time. You know, he proposed, and because they were working in the same place, the chemicals were working. He said they kissed, and that on his way home, the way he was driving, the police stopped him. They had to give him the bread test that they give people who are drunk. He wasn't drunk with alcohol. He said, but I was drunk. I knew I was drunk. He said it was her love. Now wow. Listen, if you've not been there, you need to experience it. It's awesome.
You see, people do crazy things because of love. Because love is sweet. Love is a beautiful thing. In fact, everybody do crazy things because of love, except you have not actually been in love before. If you have experienced it, you must have done crazy things. So love is crazy. But loving someone is different from falling in love with someone. To love someone is to care for that person, to be kind to the person, to be truthful to the person, to be faithful to the person, to be patient with the person, to be at peace with the person, to be gentle with the person, and all of that. And you are expected to love everybody. You are even expected to love yourself, because you cannot truly love others if you don't love yourself. So to love someone is different from to fall in love with someone, because you can't love everybody. You can't fall in love with everybody. You can't even fall in love with yourself. You can only fall in love with someone, one particular person, and that person will become so special to you. Because falling in love is another level of emotion. It's a higher level of emotion. That is when you become drunk in love. Let me put it that way. You become drunk in love, just like when someone is drunk, you start doing crazy things. That is what you do when you are in love. That is the same thing when you are in love. So when you are in love with someone, you become vulnerable to the person. And you start behaving like a baby, like a little child. You only see the beautiful aspect of the person, the beautiful aspect of life. You don't see the real life when you are in love with someone, especially when you are in love with someone. So because of that, you do crazy things. People do crazy things for love. As in, when they are in love, people do crazy things when they are in love. In fact, everybody do crazy things when you are in love, because love is sweet, love is beautiful, and love can be dangerous, especially when you are in love with the wrong person. Because you are vulnerable, they can manipulate you. That is why they say love is blind. That is why they say love is wicked. When they say love is blind, it's because you can't see what is actually going on. Even when the people around you are telling you this is wrong, this is this, you won't listen, because you are only seeing the beautiful aspect of it. You don't see the real things that is happening. That is when they say love is blind. And when they say love is wicked, that is when you fall in love with the wrong person, and when you are in love with the wrong person. That is why you need to be very careful, so that you will not fall in love with someone who is not responsible, because the heartbreak is as painful as the sweetness of the love. So you have to be very careful. That is why they usually say love is not a requirement to choose a life partner. That is when you want to choose someone to marry. Love is not a requirement, because when you are in love, you don't see things clearly. You can't make a life decision when you are drunk. So you can't choose someone to spend the rest of your life with when you are in love, because you can't see things clear. Even when people are telling you the things that is going on around, you will not listen, you will not pay attention, because you are only seeing the beautiful aspect of it. So how can you control yourself when you are in love? Number one, you must have to choose the right person to fall in love with, because when you are already in love, you can't control yourself. You will lose control. That is what it is. You can't control yourself, because you will only see the beautiful aspect of life, this beautiful aspect of it. And if the person wants to manipulate you, they will manipulate you until it is too late, before you will realize that you have messed up. So you have to choose the right person to fall in love with. That's number one. So number two is to love yourself and be responsible for yourself. You know, when you are responsible for yourself, you will be very careful with yourself. You will be in charge of yourself. And when you are in charge, you will set rules for yourself that will help you, that will guide you to choose a responsible person, to choose the right person to fall in love with. So you have to be responsible and love yourself. So number three you have to acquire knowledge and accept the truth. You see, when you have the knowledge of truth, you will know how to love yourself and love others. So when you love yourself and love others, you will be in charge of what is happening around you. You will dominate your domain with truth and love, and you will know the rules and live by the rules and